What happened here? Did you email that or text that to me, the name here?
I emailed it.
Okay, I found it here. Okay, let me write it down here.
It's rather lengthy.
Or
It's
visit
really,
PainFreeLifeCenters.com. 248-879-1100. Call today.
From the Golden Tower, this is Paul W. Smith on News Talk 760 WJR with a 2021 economic outlook and market preview presented by Huntington Bank. Here's Paul.
speak among yourselves here. Okay. My goodness gracious, how did that happen? It's Wednesday, February 10th, the 41st day of 2021, with 324 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And of course, Wednesday's its own kind of special gift, right, Dana?
It's hump day.
That's the first time I ever heard her have to take kind of a clear the throat run up to it.
I'll be adding new stuff every week.
Oh, okay. So, right, I thought I caught you a little off guard or something. I was gonna let you do it again, but if you're done, I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
I think we got the point. It is hump day, and here we are, middle of the week, and not just a hump day, but a special day. It's the 2021 Economic Outlook and Market Preview Day that we do every year. This is presented by Huntington Bank, and so we'll be hearing from some great folks from Huntington Bank throughout this morning and some of the great work that they are doing that affects our community in such a good and positive way. The team is here. Marie Osborne just finished all the news, presenting it the way it should be presented. Thank you, Riri, for that. We appreciate it. Good morning to you. Of course, Dana Clark has the hump day call, as well as traffic, weather, and anything else that we might be talking about. Dana, good morning to you.
Maybe it's cold outside.
It does seem bitter cold outside.
Yes,
it does indeed.
Still cold.
We have, of course, Brian Morton in the control booth there in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building. Kim is up and Adam. I just got some notes from her. She gets up before me, and that's early. It's early. Mm-hmm. She's taking care of business from the southernmost portion of Detroit, matter of fact. And our executive producer running the show by the clock, which you can actually see the first 45 minutes of the show because we're on our YouTube page for WJR and WJR.com. Good morning to our executive producer, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Dub. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. The team, while the dad was away, the mice will play. I sat down to a plea that somehow or another the show goes on the road.
Yes.
Someplace sunny and warm. Mm-hmm. And I didn't finish saying that, you know, in the old days, radio stations and FM still do this, but radio stations, and Ann certainly remembers this. Marie, you probably remember this. Maybe you do too, Dana. We would go places we would go to Disney World and do a broadcast. And the funniest thing is, I used to go to Disney maybe every year with the various radio stations I worked at. Mm-hmm. The day we went to work for, or the day they bought our company, when Disney bought the ABC radio stations, we never went to Disney again. You remember that?
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure what exactly happened there. Now, part of it, I think, was our old program director, Steve Stewart, kind of took control of that. That used to be something that they would contact me or contact Ann and say, hey, we'd like you to come. Well, Steve said, I'm going to be in charge of that from now on. And I think the car show.
So he went
to
right.
the show that he was hosting. And all of a sudden, we didn't go anymore. I mean, we were there at the opening of Epcot Center, and we did a lot of stuff over the years and interviewed a lot of people. Mary Lou Retton, I remember, just jumped into mind because I saw her jumping on television for some retrospective on how well the U.S. has done in gymnastics. And Drew Carey, long before he started hosting the game show, he was probably doing one of those comedy things, one of those other shows.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a lot of fun back in the day. But we're having our own kind of fun now. Not back in the day, but right now, because now is back in the day. And though I think it's unlikely, who knows? Right now could also be considered years from now the good old days. I'm guessing not, but I have hope always. It is 5:42 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
And we have it, of course. You hear that little sounder, that little bed of music in the background means it's time for Dana and our WJR Traffic and Weather First with Dana Clark.
Traffic First sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. 75 southbound at Kniff, a wreck is blocking the right shoulder. Disabled vehicle in the way in Port Huron, 94 westbound after Range Road. It is blocking that right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Window World. Call Window World 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW for your window, door, or siding project. Take advantage of 0% financing for 60 months. Window World is America's largest exterior replacement remodeler. 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW or visit windowworlddetroit.com for a free in-home or virtual quote.
Overcast, hanging tough. So is the chill in the air. Temperatures about 10 to 12 degrees below average today. 22 degrees with a cloudy sky. Tonight, some clearing late, 7 degrees above zero. Some areas closer to zero. Cloud sun tomorrow with highs in the low 20s. And not much change Friday. Friday highs low 20s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station on News Talk 760 WJR.
What's the best guess? Well, sorry, you kind of hung on that last word. What's the best guess? I have on my monitor an unbelievable figure of 5 degrees.
I have 5 as
This
well.
is the kind of figure that 5. This is the kind of thing that you're a pilot and you don't believe your equipment and you pound on it. You knock on it to see if it's stuck. And you go, it says it's 5 degrees. That can't be right. Might I suggest if you're a pilot and you're looking at those figures, you believe them. Yeah. I was just reminded of that with the latest information that came out about the crash of the helicopter with Kobe, his daughter, and all those people. Pilot error. It almost always turns out to be pilot error. All righty. We have Rush Limbaugh, usually noon to 3. He's had some ups and downs with his cancer treatment, lung cancer. Hopefully he'll be there today, but I can tell you this, at 5:45, he's here right now.
Another rant from an American college professor has come to light. This one comes from Dr. Nathan June, who teaches philosophy at Midwestern State University of Wichita Falls, Texas. Last weekend, Dr. June posted on Facebook, "I want the entire world to burn until the last cop is strangled with the intestines of the last capitalist, who is strangled in turn with the intestines of the last politician." Now, on top of this guy's obsession with intestines, assume that his hatred of law enforcement and capitalism fits right in with so many others who are teaching America's young people. The university defended their professor. They said that when their faculty members express themselves as private citizens, they are entitled to First Amendment protections, even if their opinions are offensive and shocking. Professor June isn't going to face any institutional censorship or discipline. But here's the thing. Midwestern State University is a public university, so Texas taxpayers have a right to express their uncensored opinion on who they underwrite in the classroom. And you parents paying to send your kids to MSU, you also have a right to express yourselves. Now, if you don't want your kids exposed to this uncensored hatred of law enforcement and American capitalism, you have every reason to impose some societal discipline of your own and just quit supporting this. And tell Dr. June it's time for his July. He's out of there.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Well, I saw it maybe since this is just the segment for our folks watching, that I would share best I could. I don't have a better way to do this. Something I saw last night that was just so funny. There was a guy, a lawyer, who was in a Zoom call.
I just saw this story.
He was in a Zoom call, and one of his kids had been on his computer and put a filter up that made him look like a cat.
The guy's eyes moving was the funniest thing. You're on, and his eyes are moving.
So the guy has to do a legal Zoom call.
Have you guys seen that? Ann, and Dana?
No, but I can't wait to show the Barrett.
Well,
awesome.
it's someplace in Texas in the, let's see, it's the 394th Judicial District Court.
It's hilarious.
And this poor guy is in with these guys.
Wow.
And they go to the guy, they say, hey, Rod Ponton, the lawyer, goes, Rod, you got some kind of a filter. I mean, they're all keeping a straight face.
Right.
Judicial worker, you've got some kind of yeah. And he goes, my assistant is trying to get it off, and we are having trouble. We can't remove it. I assure you, I am not a cat.
Your Honor, I'm not a cat.
Your Honor, I am not a cat. This takes that whole line from the movie, I am not an animal. Well, it takes that out altogether. So I don't use those filters. So luckily I haven't had one.
Had that experience.
I know that the kids have used those filters, and what he needed to do is quickly get a kid there in his office to figure out how to get that off. Have you guys ever used filters like that?
No. I've seen a lot of them on Zoom calls.
Yeah.
But
I can barely do this, so we better not go too far.
Me too.
You know, it's funny. Our boss, Mike Wheeler, has the most beautiful dog.
Oh,
And I don't know what kind of dog it is. I think her name might be Gemma, but she's just like a big, fluffy
Puppy girl dog.
animal.
Puppy dog. She's beautiful.
She's just gorgeous. But her thing is she loves Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yes. So anytime there's a Zoom
He
conference,
jumps in.
she gets up on his lap and puts her face into the screen.
Oh, that's funny.
But she won't leave. But she loves to see all the little faces in the boxes. It's hilarious.
boy.
Animals are very funny.
They are.
Oh, they are. Bring a lot of joy to life.
Yes.
Welcome back to more Paul W. Smith on WJR, sponsored by Huntington Bank. Now with more from the 2021 Economic Outlook and Market Preview. Here's Paul W. Smith.
And we'll get into all that business of the Economic Outlook and Market Preview coming up here. But this is the part of the show where we just hang out. But we'll get very serious at 6:18 when Steve Steinauer, Huntington Bank Chairman, President, and CEO, who's been with us a number of times since he's been in that office, he will be with us kicking off this Huntington Bank Outlook and Market Preview. The biggest thing most recently with them is that they bought TCF. And the biggest thing that we'll see as a note about that is when the former Cobo will become, then the TCF will become the former TCF Center and be Huntington Center. So that'll be right there in the heart of Detroit.
It has a nice ring to it. That sounds good.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I think it'll be easier to remember, with all due respect to TCF. That's been a more difficult one to remember. But I've had people say to me they still call it Cobo, just like I've had people say they still call it Pine Knob.
Or
Instead of
Tiger
the
Stadium.
Tiger Stadium, DTE Energy Music Place. Freedom Hill is it the Michigan Lottery Freedom Hill now or something
Oh,
like
did
that?
they change that too?
I thought it's been a while, but I can't be sure. But anyway, if people pay for those names, we should respect that because that's how a lot of those people survive. This is a very special day. I was at a little place with Sophie and having a little bite to eat, Morning Glory. Again, in our little circle, our little bubble where we travel. And I had a flourless brownie.
Oh,
Little did I know, that was yesterday, I was doing it in honor of today because it is National Have a Brownie Day.
this is a good day.
I
Yeah.
love brownies. I have my mother, Sweet Marie, used to make brownies. That was her go-to confection. She would make brownies, and they were really good.
Mhm.
I bet Marie Osborne has a.
I have more than one recipe that the family demands.
Now, there's brownies would be in a category that I like them without frosting, but occasionally I'll have a brownie with frosting, and I really like that too.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
like them both. Like carrot cake has to have frosting, as we discussed the other day. But a brownie can go either way and be just a great brownie.
How was the flourless one yesterday?
It was good. It was a little big. It did have icing on it. It was kind of, I couldn't quite describe it. Sophie tried it and said, "Dad, this is all sugar." Which, of course, made me want it more. But of course, good father went, "Oh boy, that's not good." Oh boy, if I could have stuck it in my pocket and taken it to eat later, I would have. But I couldn't stick it in my pocket, so I didn't eat the whole thing.
Well, you should
Things
try
to do.
brownies with raspberries in them. That's
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute.
try for.
Inside the brownie?
Yes, you
Really?
Never
the
had
last
that.
step, you fold them in. Good
Mm.
good fresh raspberries. Oh,
Wow, that sounds really good.
Marie, you have a lot of stuff to make by the time we finally
Yeah,
get
really.
back to the
When we ever get
office.
back together,
Are you
we're
keeping
gonna-
a list?
We'll open a bakery in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building.
well, every time we talk about food, I think to myself, "Oh, you know what? I'll make that for
Right,
tomorrow."
you're like-
Oh, wait a minute, I can't bring it in. It'll be there. Okay.
I'll tell you that I talk about not being very colorful on my end. My biggest the thought was going to be brownies, nuts or no nuts. I never thought about fresh fruit.
Mhm.
Not ever. By the way, brownies, nuts or no nuts? What do you say?
Either way, I'll take it both ways.
I like it both ways.
With ice cream.
Oh,
You know,
warm
this is
brownie
bad
with
every day.
ice
Mhm.
cream.
When we talk about food every day,
I
this is
know.
really bad because
but-
what happens then is I want whatever the item is
Right.
talked about.
All
So
day.
yesterday we talked
Whatever
about pizza. What did we have
Annie wants,
Pizza.
Yeah.
Annie gets.
Right, Annie?
I did have pizza on
Yes.
National Pizza Day. I had to be true to myself. I had to.
So this
yeah.
is dangerous now.
It's
Today,
very
brownies.
dangerous.
Wow. Do you think there's
Well, you
any
know what? We just talked
brownies?
about it. We don't eat it now, and you have the wherewithal when we get off the air to get those things, fix those.
Annie,
cook
don't
those things.
believe Annie. Annie is not eating all this stuff. Don't believe
No.
the hype.
At least she can do it.
Are there any healthy
I
brownies
just
out there?
dream about it. Sure, there are healthy brownies. Tell us, Marie.
Yeah, no, dark chocolate is really very, very good for you. And if you can cut down on the sugar in the brownie, there are recipes out there where, okay, you know what? No. You know, you just have to have the whole thing together.
That's right.
that-
Just go for it.
You went a different direction on that one. I thought you were going to really have it.
I couldn't.
I don't know what's going on here. I fear it is, having good PR people or something. How many times are stories like this going to come out that
Right.
say
Mhm.
drinking coffee daily could lower risk of heart failure, according to a study? Seriously, we've been told every way you can be told that drinking coffee is healthy. It's
Yeah.
healthier even. It has a good positive effect. Yet every so many months, a study comes out as if it's the first time anyone's ever said this. Hey, drinking coffee daily is good for you. I mean, am I wrong about this, or have you guys noticed this? as well?
No,
No, you're right.
you're right. And then the next thing is wine. Drink
Yeah,
wine. Don't
yeah.
drink wine. Do
They have good PR people too.
Let's set this straight. It's Wine Wednesday. Drink wine.
right. Yeah, you can have a glass of wine. It's okay.
I remember when we used to all bring in a bottle of wine
They
on
stopped
Wine
that.
Wednesday. Talk about a problem. No, I have to buy some more wine, sweetheart. It's Wine Wednesday. She would actually buy it, so that was good. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
And to give us our WJR traffic and weather first, we have Miss Dana Clark.
And we still have an accident, Paul W. Hamtramck, 75 southbound at Canip. That's actually a disabled vehicle is blocking the right shoulder. Also, disabled vehicle in Port Huron along 94 westbound after Range Road, also blocking the right shoulder. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Optimize floor space in your business with Shelving.com's wide selection of products. From Unirack pallet racks to mezzanines, get 10% off select products site-wide with code WJR10. One-time use per customer, that's WJR10, Shelving.com. We rack your world. Well, we are still dealing with this polar vortex that's going to stick around through the rest of the week, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 degrees. It's just cold out there. It's going to be cold all day today. Cloudy skies, a high of only 20. Tonight, clouds, your low back down to 7. For Thursday, some clouds, some sun, at least, and a high of 23. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in about 2 minutes.
So, Paul, here's a
Yes,
coincidence for you.
Here's the what?
Here's a little coincidence for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So Lisa, our very, very helpful PR woman from Huntington,
Yes.
says that the last time they sponsored one of our shows, you were doing a survey about whether people ate the edge of brownies or the center
stop
of
it.
brownies.
Wow.
And they think it's great that today is National.
What a
Wow.
coincidence. What an amazing
Wow.
Lisa, job well done. What a coincidence. Who knew?
And Tom Rafai, who you would not expect, is sending me brownie recipes.
Oh, I
boy.
would expect that from Tom. If it's something healthy, he knows about it. He's pretty
Yeah.
good at that.
But you wouldn't expect it to be healthy.
I do. Well, there's healthy pizza. There's healthy. There's
Healthier.
a healthful or healthier
Right.
version of everything.
Yes. that's
Even
right.
healthier potato chips now
Yes.
that are very,
They're
common.
good too.
Well,
They're
I wouldn't-
baked.
I
Well,
wouldn't
they're
say that.
good. They're
I'm
not.
not.
nasty.
It's not. I know they're baked. They're better for you baked.
Mhm.
Better baked.
He's asking you a favor, Paul.
Okay.
He says, make it a great day, and could you remember that every day is Fruits and Vegetables Day?
Yeah, we should have. Maybe we'll have to add that in there somehow.
Oh,
Or in our case, fruits and nuts.
sorry, Tom.
Well, we
No.
did talk about putting raspberries in the
Yeah,
brownie.
we did. We got some fruit in there, but we all do need to eat more fruits and vegetables. And from time to time, fruits get a bad. I've had people say, "Oh, fruits, that's pure sugar."
Mhm.
But as Tom Rafai has mentioned to us, our other doctor friends,
Dr.
that have
Khan, Joe Khan.
Joel Kahn, these guys say, "No, fruit is good for you. It's a different kind of sugar,"
Mhm.
and so that's an important
You know how you can get in a
note.
lot of fruits and vegetables easily is make a smoothie,
Mhm.
and
Good.
put in fresh fruit and then put in some spinach or kale. You can
Yeah.
really get a lot of different fruits and vegetables.
You know what? I was about to say, I'm sure I have a blender somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But,
no.
But it's
You
right
need a
next to
bowl of
it's right
Nutribullet.
next to the beautiful egg maker in the box in
Oh.
the kitchen.
It's still in the box.
Yeah. So
I'm going to have to get on FaceTime with you.
it sounds like Jerry's one of my biggest sponsors, but I'm not kidding. I swear to you, I've not had one, but I think that I first heard about Jerry's because all the kids from the various high schools would go to Jerry's for a smoothie.
Mhm.
And I may be wrong. It might be something else. But I think it was a smoothie that I always used to hear them say. But I'll have to go and see. Another reason to go venture out of my bubble.
Go see Jerry.
Go see Jerry. I don't know how. Let's see. Been doing cactus, pineapple, and orange smoothies. Eileen
Cactus.
Yeah.
Miner. Jane, on the other hand, says, I don't drink anything green except absinthe.
What's that?
Absinthe used to be illegal alcoholic beverage.
Oh, okay.
I think they think of it as a hallucinogen. And Patrick, who's kind of like me, tries to put everything together and move on. He says, what about a brownie smoothie?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That's a milkshake.
That's good. So
Much
I don't
like
know.
eggs, Paul. The brownie or the smoothies are easy to make.
Smoothies are
But
just
what could be easier than the egg maker?
nothing, but you have to open it and read the instructions, and I just haven't yet. I got all this other
You're
stuff.
so
here that-
busy.
well, it's just ridiculous. I do busy work, and it takes me with ADHD,
All day.
MNOP. It takes me longer to do the simplest of
Yeah.
things, as
I get
Ann
it.
can tell you, and certainly Kim can tell you. It
Mhm.
just it just doesn't come quickly to me. I mean, sadly, I'm not making a joke. That's the truth.
Mhm.
And it's not an excuse. Unless I owe you something and haven't done it.
Right.
But I just saw something on television. I don't know how women do a lot of stuff with their hair. You know, I give you in good fun, Dana. I talk about your hair. You have beautiful hair. You do lots of creative things. I do like that look that's kind of slicked back, you know, in certain occasions for some women, not everybody. But I often wondered how they got it that way, but I don't know still, but I do know what you shouldn't do, which is what
Right.
one woman did that was just in the news. She used Gorilla Glue
Yeah. Not a
to
good
slick back her hair.
Mhm.
Not
And
good.
she's apparently in real big, serious trouble.
Mhm.
Isn't
She's
she supposed to
seeing
be in the
doctors.
hospital? I think
What's
she was
that?
out. I think she had to go to the hospital.
Mm.
I don't know the rest of the story. I was watching it without sound, and I saw that, and the closed captioning on there saying Gorilla Glue, and the doctor's working on getting it out, I guess, or helping her scalp or whatever. But then I saw now we see it everywhere. She started a GoFundMe page,
To help.
and it's up to $14,000.
Wow.
I got to start a GoFundMe page.
Me
I got
too.
bills. I got mortgage. I got, I don't understand the whole GoFundMe page thing.
Yeah. I don't either.
I give to charities.
Right.
I do that sort of stuff, but
I think you have to be careful with those things.
no, I think you do too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't believe I've ever given to a GoFundMe page. I don't.
No, I
I
haven't.
don't remember that at all.
I'm just looking at the picture of the woman with her hair. Oh
Well,
wow.
I think it was hairspray that she used. I think she
Okay.
thought it was
Oh,
hairspray.
she didn't do it on purpose?
I don't think so.
I thought
Because
she did.
Jane says she's suing them because the can doesn't say "don't use on."
Oh
can.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
why
I
the
think it was
lawnmowers-
hairspray.
It's why the lawnmowers say, do not pick up and use as a hedge trimmer. Yeah,
Right.
really? Really?
Right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She says she's got to go see a surgeon.
Yeah, it's really bad. But it's like now, are we going to put on a can of 10W30 oil? We're going to put on it, please don't use as boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's oil. It goes in your car. They shouldn't have to tell you what not to use it for.
This
but-
is the lady with the Gorilla Glue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it spray? Is it
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I-
Well,
I-
she
I-
thought it was hairspray.
Yeah, you know what? That's
I think.
I don't think anyone can be that stupid. Gorilla Glue does not come out spray like
Right.
ever.
I-
Super glue,
Yeah, that's
Gorilla
what I don't
Glue.
understand that. It comes out like a little.
Oh,
Yeah, I think she
thought
thought it was a brilliant way to slick back her hair and
Right, to keep
slick.
it there. Keep it there forever.
It doesn't move at all.
Right.
I wondered if she was trying to put extensions in.
Right.
You glue
Yeah.
your
When I
Mhm.
first saw it, and she had big, funny eyelashes, I
Lashes.
thought maybe she super glued or Gorilla glued her eyelashes into place.
Oh, wow.
From the Golden Tower, this is Paul W. Smith on News Talk 760 WJR with a 2021 economic outlook and market preview presented by Huntington Bank. Here's Paul.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning to you. It is the 10th of February, the 41st day of 2021, with 324 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And of course, Wednesdays are their own sort of special gift, right, Dana?
It's hump day.
Yes, it is. I don't remember, because the first few times we heard you do It's Hump Day, we didn't get to see you because we weren't on camera, as we are the first 45 minutes of the show at WJR.com and WJR's Facebook page. But I had you always cocked your head in
think so.
that way? putting yourself at great risk.
Great risk.
Yeah.
Great risk.
By the
over
way,
here.
you always seem so organized behind you there.
I'm very organized. I could come to your house. That desk would be clean in about 15 minutes, and I would know where everything is.
Me too.
I am not exaggerating when I tell you. I know people don't understand this because they think, well, if you want to clean it up, just clean it up.
Mhm.
I try to clean my desk every day.
Mhm.
And if you saw it, you would go, really? Sophie would say, Daddy, really? I swear to God, I try every day. And it's funny you say that, Dana, because you could come in and clean it right away. And I actually, at one of my other houses in the past, I actually hired someone to come in
Mhm.
to help me get organized and clean my desk. And when she went through this stuff, she went through it very quickly because she had absolutely no connection to any.
Right. Yep.
I have a personal connection to every piece of paper and every news story and and I have to go through it and I read it
Mhm.
again and I go
Mhm.
and I end up moving this pile of junk over to that pile of junk and
Mhm.
haven't really accomplished anything. So
We need to send Marie Kondo in. You know
Mhm.
who that is.
I believe
Mhm.
she's very good at that
Mhm.
sort of thing. I'm not.
Thank this item for its service to you.
Right, and move on.
Put it aside.
Move on.
This one that they say, does this thing give you great pleasure? If it doesn't give you great pleasure, throw it away. Seriously? I don't know how a tax bill could give me great pleasure, and I can't just throw it away.
I think you're afraid that if you do get rid of something, you're going to need it, right?
Well, remember when we used to go out?
That's what it is.
I don't
Right.
have to ever go out again to a studio, but when I used to go to the studio, certainly Ann will remember this, and you guys might
Mhm.
too. I used to carry a bag.
Yes, and
Yeah,
your
Bill.
roller.
It was so heavy. I finally one day got it on a roller, so I roll it. But I could go weeks without using anything in that bag.
Mhm.
But I had it with me because it was a crutch. It made me
Mhm.
feel good to
Mhm.
have that stuff because I might need it. And inevitably, there have been many times when I go, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going. And somebody says something, and there's something in that bag, and I need it, and I don't have it. That only has to happen to you a couple of times in this business when you're doing a daily live radio show that you say, well, I might need that.
Mhm.
And let me conjure up the picture because from the news booth
Right.
studios, we're looking into the main studio, right? So we would be just wrapping up the 5:30 news, and you'd look up, and here you'd see this figure whisking into that studio, carrying, and I mean, there was a big bundle of papers in his arms, and he'd be rushing in, and the papers would be flying out, and he'd be rushing in and sitting down and getting all set up, and I remember when I first started thinking, what is this guy doing? Why does he have papers with him? What?
And his roller bag.
Very sad, isn't it?
That was
Very sad.
before the roller bag.
Oh, that's before the roller bag.
That was a long time
Dan
ago.
remembers those days before the roller bag.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why I didn't use a roller bag long before that. And the other problem is now with this pile here,
Yeah.
I'll need something. Ann knows this. It happened in the studio. I said, Ann, I can't find this paper that on the, you sent me this. I can't. And so the moment she would try to reprint it and start to walk in with it in the studio, I go, oh, here it is.
Every
All I had to do was say I couldn't find it, and she had to act like she was going to reprint it. And then I found it. Kim says, Dana could clean your desk in 15 minutes, and it would look the same tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
See, every day I have an influx.
You
of
have a
paper.
situation.
What happened to the paperless society we were supposed to have?
You don't do that. Don't ask about that. You wouldn't do it.
You would.
Well, but are you guys living now? News is
More,
Marie. You
yeah.
are you do most of your news right on the computer, right? You
Yes,
look right at it.
Everything is, but I still do print several things. Because I don't print now, but I like to print your rundown because I'm always looking back at it and think, looking at what.
Well,
what
we
are-
appreciate that. We appreciate that because
No,
it's
no, but other shows, I mean, the same thing with Frank's show. You want to have it. So now I have to refer to the computer, and I really don't like that, but I do. That's what we have to do. I
would
print
be
still more than I should.
I print everything, but the computer I don't rely on it. I can't imagine doing being responsible for a 5-minute newscast
Oh, yeah.
with it just on. When I used to fill in for Paul Harvey, I am certain I could have it on my computer. There's no way I wouldn't have a paper copy in front of me.
Exactly. Because
What happens?
anything can go wrong.
1 or 2 minutes in, it shuts down.
Yeah.
It goes away or whatever.
If that happens, you do a time check, and then Brian knows it's time to play a spot. It happened. But you know what? We call that a crash pack in news. Crash pack. So that you have there. Anne has a crash pack because you just have to have something aside for yourself in case something goes.
It'd be like not putting my rundown. Yeah, well, that's a crash pack. Well, quick question here. If I found a species of fish that was said to have a mild flavor, low in fat, and make a good table fare and is in abundance, would you eat it?
Maybe.
Yes,
Dana's
I would.
wisely hesitant. Well, that's what they're now saying about Asian carp.
Oh,
And that they're lamenting the fact that it has carp in the name because we think of carp as bottom-feeding, muddy-tasting fish,
right.
which I think they are sometimes. And they're going to try to convince us to start eating Asian carp. And they're having a big meeting coming up, the Boston Food Show.
Big meeting.
And they're going to rename the Asian carp to get us to eat it. But think of this. I mean, what a business if you could get Asian carp. You don't even have to fish. You just have your boat go down the river and they come jumping into your you got to wear a helmet or something, but they come jumping into your boat. You go home and say, "How was your day, honey?" "Oh, it was a rough day driving the boat and letting the fish jump in." I mean, seriously, talk about easy fishing.
It's called the Perfect Catch Campaign. The Perfect Catch Campaign.
And they haven't given us the name yet. They're going to
name.
come up with a name. Maybe we should give them a name. Asian carp. I don't know.
Swipe left.
614 614 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
All righty. Let's, at 614, take care of our business at hand. You hear that music, you know that we're going to check some WJR traffic and weather first with Miss Dana Clark. And coming up right around the corner on this 2021 Economic Outlook and Market Preview show presented by Huntington Bank, Mr. Huntington Bank, the chairman and president and CEO, Steve Steinauer, will be here with us in just a moment. Dana?
Much better than this time yesterday, Paul W. Still dealing with a couple of disabled vehicles out there, 94 westbound after Range Road. Disabled vehicle in Port Huron blocking the right shoulder. Also in Hamtramck, vehicle calling it quits along 75 southbound at Kniff. It is blocking the right shoulder as well. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Shop Reamer Floors during the Karastan Free Cushion event now through February 28th. Save on all Karastan carpet. Plus, receive free deluxe carpet cushion. Shop online, shop from home, or shop in-store by appointment. Reamer Floors on Telegraph 1 mile north of Square Lake, reamerfloors.com.
Not too much change here. Temperatures are going to be in the low 20s the next couple of days. Clouds here today, 22 degrees. Overnight tonight, some clearing, 7 above. Suburbs colder. Tomorrow, mix of clouds and sunshine, 23. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 23. From a Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging on News Talk 760 WJR.
All right, Ray, thank you very